Basic modal theory. You might have heard a lot about the modes, and a lot of guitar players get scared when they hear the word modes because it gets a little complicated. It's the deep theory about music. I'm going to try to simplify it so that you can really understand it. And we're going to just give you the basics of what the modes are about now. And in later lessons, we'll get into a little bit deeper of how to work with the modes, how to create the different modes, and how to improvise with the different modes. First of all, what are the modes? The modes are scales created from each degree of a scale. And let me make that a little easier for you to understand. We're going to build a scale from each degree of a scale. So we're going to take C major for an example to start with. There's 7 different modes because there's 7 different notes in the scale. You actually know 2 already, and you probably don't even know you know 2. You know the Ionian and the Aeolian. The Ionian is the major scale. It's the major scale that you've learned already. And the Aeolian is the natural minor scale. So those are probably the most 2 commonly used modes, the Aeolian and the Ionian. So you know those 2 already. So if we were in the key of C major, say starting on the 8th fret of the 6th string, and I want to play the Ionian mode, the Ionian mode starts off of the 1st degree of the scale. So, and I go through 7 notes up to the octave. And that's the Ionian mode in the key of C. Also, let me go back a little bit. The modes were named after Greek tribes, and that's how they got their names. And the Greek tribes had different types of sounds that they had that were synonymous with their tribe, and that's the sound of each mode. Like Lydia is a tribe that was from Greece, and this is that's connected with the Lydian mode. So that's how the modes got their names, from Greek tribes. So anyway, here's the Ionian. And that's the C Ionian, and it's a major mode. The modes are either going to be sad or happy, and they're going to be connected to major and minor. So there's going to be certain modes that are major modes and certain modes that are minor modes. Now, if I took that same C major scale and I started on the D note, played up to another D note, that will be the D Dorian mode. Because it started with a D, that's the tone center. We're changing the tone center of the scale from the C to the D. But we're still using the notes in the key of C major, which is no sharps or flats. That's why they're still related to that same family. So that mode is a minor mode. You'll notice if I played a D minor chord, sounds good over it. So if I started with the E note and went up to E again, that'd be the E Phrygian mode. Now the E Phrygian mode is also a minor mode. So if I played an E minor chord, sounds good over an E minor chord. All right, now if I started with F and went up to F, that'd be the F Lydian scale. That's a major mode. And that works with the F major chord, or F major 7. If I took G, went to G, that's the G Mixolydian scale. That's also a major scale, and that one also goes with the dominant 7th chord. Major, you could do major or you could do dominant 7th. The 5th mode is also synonymous with the dominant 7th chord. Then if we went to A, this is your Aeolian mode that you've learned, or the natural minor. And you'll see how that works with A minor or A minor 7th. Then if we go to B, that is the B Locrian mode. And that's more the diminished or minor 7 flat 5 chord. And then we're back to C. It's back to the Ionian. All right, so that's the basics of the modes. The modes are based off of building a scale from each degree of the major scale. And each scale has its own unique sound. So we have the Ionian, which is major, the Dorian, which is minor, the Phrygian, which is minor, the Lydian, which was major, the Mixolydian, which was major, the Aeolian, which was the natural minor, the Locrian, which is the diminished one, and then you're back to the Ionian again. So that's the basics. Now you could build these modes off of any major scale. We just did it off the key of C major right now because you know the C major, and it's easiest because there's no sharps or flats. So I want you to take the basics of this right now, get to know these in the key of C, play through those 7 modes, and then try to transpose these to another key, G, D, A, E. Try those keys next. All right, so that's the basics of the modes.